Hello,
Yo.
Alex.
Hello.
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 All right,
Hello,
so
hello.
introduce yourselves to all the lovely people watching.
Hi,
Hi.
Yo.
we are a band.
yes.
Well, we are Alice. We have these lights that come up at the beginning of our show, and we said that if we ever had to do a group intro, we just go in the order of lights. So ready? What is it? Steve, 2, 3, 4.
Steve, yeah.
Hi, I'm Steve. I play drums.
Thank you.
Sorry for my connection. I am Gordon, and I play bass.
And I am Scott. I play guitar and synth.
Hey, I'm Carl. I play keyboards and synth.
I am Hazel. I'm a vocalist and do some percussion.
And I'm Tosh, and I sing and play keys and percussion.
All right, awesome. Comments over here are blowing up. I love it. Everyone's saying hi. I see you in here, Tyler. Hey, Tyler from October Noir. Hello, Kyler.
Yay. Aw.
Hey.
Now,
Amaya?
obviously,
Amaya's here.
what's up?
Oh, I just saw Amaya.
Hi.
Hi, Mike.
Now, obviously, today is World Goth Day, so I have to ask the question, how did each of you find goth or darker music?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you guys want, I could go first. I've always sort of loved music of all types, but when I really started going deeper into music when I was younger, it just seems to me that like sort of the darker music sort of appealed to me aesthetically. Bands like Tool to Nine Inch Nails to Pink Floyd, even to me, they're like pretty dark, and then there's some music that's not necessarily considered goth or dark that to me is definitely appeals to me. But yeah.
All right, who's next?
It's a tough question. I feel like a lot of music can definitely be categorized as being goth. But I mean, I think it's like music that is darker tinged.
Right.
Could be seen that way, right? Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's interesting because sometimes I was joking about this with Clint. So we also play with System Sin.
Right.
How we were joking about like it's really hard for us not to write like darker songs, like we've tried, and it just sort of comes out. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a reflection of you can't take the goth out of the girl or the guy, but I'm like, whether or not we try, like it seems like we just tend to gravitate towards music that is considered dark. But I don't know if I like to look at it as sort of a dichotomy in terms of dark and light, because to me it's just part of like human expression and human experience. So it's like when you're going through like emotions that can seem challenging, some people may say like, oh, that's dark, but actually I think it's just honest. It's just being honest and real about like how you're feeling and expressing that, and hopefully finding people that can relate and connect with that. So yeah.
Hazel, what you got?
Oh gosh, I was always obsessed with music that was darker. I remember in middle school, before I really understood like music language and whatnot, I remember my friend and I were like, it has to have the sound, right? We would call it the sound. And we played all these songs. It's like, that one has the sound and this one has the sound. And I remember another friend saying, you mean they're in minor?
Minor key.
And I was like, no, it's the sound, man. Like, it's got to have the sound. So whether or not it was always in a minor key, maybe some sort of modal thing, but it was always like a dark vibe that I had to have. It was, I couldn't listen to like happy music makes me cry. So, yeah, ironic, but so that's kind of where I sat. It's always just been a part of like my vibe and interest.
All right, Carl, Steve, you got Gordon? Got anything to say?
I'll go real quick. because I'm on a red light, and so I might get good reception for a second. I was just talking recently with my wife about how my dad is an undertaker, and so I feel like I'm just gothic by default. But musically, it was actually like John Siren of Mankind is Obsolete who introduced me to Skinny Puppy and like Cannibal Corpse and stuff. So I feel like he finally cracked me open. Mankind is Obsolete, our other bands, like cracked me open to the dark side, and I feel like Alice is the light side of the dark side.
Mhm.
So I've come. Dark and light. It's like chocolate and vanilla. I just like ice cream. So with that, I pass it on.
Yeah, for me, I just grew up listening to a lot of the 80s kind of new wave stuff, The Cure, New Order, Depeche Mode, and sort of that was most of my childhood. And then I definitely got into the heavier stuff like Scott, you were saying Tool, and then kind of into the goth scene. I started playing with Android Lust, playing drums with them, and I Parasite, and that sort of brought me into a little bit more of that goth industrial kind of a thing. So that was my path.
Okay.
All right. And for me, it really started with a lot of movie scores and everything, like the soundtrack to Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously, and a few other ones. But a big one that set me on a big path to, I guess, darker music is the soundtrack for The Matrix.
Yes.
It's like, so I still think it's so good. And then what really solidified me into like goth, but also metal music was I worked at a haunted house in Fort Worth, Texas for a few years. And the entire soundtrack for that was like New Order and like remixes of Rob Zombie and all of this other stuff. So that I think I went dark and I just never came back. So
Question over in the comments. October Noir says, "Why does Gordon look like he's being consumed by Madonna's wardrobe?"
Because I am my computer is sideways in the passenger seat of my car. I'm connected to the hotspot of my phone so that I can at least participate, because my phone didn't want to have any part of this conversation. But so I'm just making it the info slave.
All right.
Can
So
I,
what?
I add
Yes.
soundtrack that changed my life? So yeah, all the gothiness I have in me comes from that soundtrack for sure.
Wait, what soundtrack?
We missed the soundtrack.
Yeah.
We missed the soundtrack.
But we believe you.
Bro,
The Crow.
Thank
Crow.
you. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Big influence on me too.
We should have started guessing.
Trivia.
All right. So why is your band name Alice? What inspired that? Exactly.
Well, Scott and Gordon and I were in a band called Mankind is Obsolete prior to forming Alice. And we went on a year-long tour. And during that time, I think we were just kind of brewing the concept and brewing the music. And the music didn't quite fit in the format of MKO. And one of our favorite places to go is out in the desert in Joshua Tree. It's just a beautiful place of where you can kind of collect your thoughts and be in the desert and see the stars. And we went on a camping trip, and we had already written a bunch of music, and we were trying to figure out in one word, because we came from Mankind is Obsolete, which is pretty long. And we were like, one word to describe how the music feels and sounds. And Gordon was thinking of the idea of Alice. And I think to play on that, like, the concept of like, this feels surreal. It feels like a journey. It feels like you're, going through the looking glass, going down the rabbit hole. And the idea of like kind of a journey and a transformational journey at that. So I don't know, Gordon, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, we originally actually were toying around with the idea of not even facing the audience, being like with our backs to the audience, so that it was about the show and the experience and more like a thing. And I think we've really gotten back to that with Steve does our lights, and we've really gone deep down the journey rabbit hole, and we're creating these like sort of journeys where we're getting into that. So it's more of an experience than like just a band playing tunes kind of thing. So
Definitely. Okay, so why do you use a 1 instead of the letter I?
Well, I like the idea of playing around with oneness. And that does actually raise a question. I think that everyone has kind of their interpretation of it. But I like the idea of like kind of going into yourself when evolving and when growing and exploring. So it is kind of playing around with the idea of within the one, you can find the truth. Very matrixy.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of interpretations there. But I feel like Tosh really embodies why we used it, and it's also it symbolizes so much because the one looks like a key, and I feel like Alice is sort of unlocking the doors of perception. There's so much there, so that's a whole rabbit hole itself.
All right, so you just got off tour. How was it?
It was awesome.
Collectively, yeah.
Hey, he's back.
Gordon,
Welcome back.
Hello, floating head. I went far afield and I'm back.
Yeah, the tour was really awesome. But I'll just say really quick, one of my favorite parts of the tour was actually playing Dark Force Fest. It was definitely a huge highlight. But yeah, I'll let everyone else talk.
Yeah, I think it was, I mean, like Scott was saying, Dark Force Fest was actually the impetus for us doing the whole tour. When we got asked, generally speaking, I like to book tours to get us there and back. And it was such a beautiful experience. It was our first tour with Hazel, which was beautiful and so special. And we got to play like, some hometown shows. Like we played a hometown show for Carl. So seeing friends and family, connecting with people that we normally, get to interact with online, but getting to spend that time in person and obviously making the music with each other. Like we really do love the experience of live music and love being a part of the live music community. So yeah, just very, very grateful to be able to be a part of it and for all the support that we've received along the way.
Absolutely. I know I saw you guys at Dark Force Fest. It was an amazing show. Like I've been following you guys, for a while, but then I saw you live and I'm like, damn, this is great.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a good picture of you too.
yeah,
Wow, look at that.
I love it.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Do you have any more shows planned for this year?
Yeah, so we're actually going to be playing. We're headlining a festival in Pocatello, Idaho, and really excited about that. It's the Shady Grove Festival. We played in Pocatello last year, and it was such an awesome show. And there's a bunch of like independent artists and musicians that are putting together this festival, and it speaks to our hearts. Like we're an indie band ourselves, and so I just love getting to support that community. So we're playing that. We're playing several dates in the summer to get us there and back. And then we're also playing Absolution Fest in Tampa in October. So planning a little bit of a tour around that as well. So yeah, really excited to get back out there and also to share some new music as we're creating it along the way.
Oh, Tyler says Alice live is the best. Absolutely.
Oh, we love
Thanks,
it, Tyler.
Tyler.
As is October Noir. October Noir is awesome.
October Noir is
So good.
Yes.
all right. So you unless I've missed something here. So you released 2 singles last year, but nothing since. Are you like setting up for an album release or?
Yeah, so the whole tour. Oh, I heard a cute little meow. Somebody's meow.
Lucifer.
Is that-
Lucifer's meowing.
Oh, yeah.
It's Lucifer's Meow. That's a song title.
Band name, dude.
Yeah.
Lucifer's Meow.
That's it.
I love it. I love it.
Started here.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've been touring on our upcoming album, So Below. We already released As Above. It's going to be a double album, As Above, So Below. And so we've been, in process releasing singles along the way to support So Below. And then when we're finished, we're going to be doing a double album release that includes vinyl, our first vinyl. So we're really excited about that. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Sorry, I'm distracted by Kitty. Hello, hello.
Hi, baby girl. Get down. Ow. Okay. What can you tell me about the album? Anything?
I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I'm like.
Well, we actually spent some time. It's interesting because we wrote a lot of the songs over the past couple of years. That's on both As Above, So Below, and during the course of the few years, like we've amassed a lot of material. But I feel like as we've been touring more and more, we've been playing more shows. Like we're getting tighter as a band. We're changing and evolving as people, so we're also writing new music as we go as well. So in terms of like what I can talk about, like I guess like I mean it's hard to say because it's like sometimes when you sit down to write something new, it'll just come out as whatever it needs to come out as. I think the initial impetus, As Above, So Below is like, for the second part of the album, we're going into the valley of darkness beneath, and exploring like sort of darker themes. But a lot of the times, like the music is sounding lighter and happier. So it's like, I don't know what's going on, but we just have to continue doing what we're doing and, see where it brings us.
All right. Now, I've seen it described online as being dark electronic rock. Do you think that's necessarily accurate? How would you like put it in your own words?
The only thing that's missing from that, well, definitely synth. We all are approaching it with like electronic music, and and even me, like I did not start that way, and like I got a Moog Minotaur bass, and so now it's like bass synth and bass synth. Scott has a keyboard and Carl has a keyboard, and Steve's doing electronics with his drums. So definitely electronic, synth, and rock and dark. Yeah, no, for sure. Like our roots, we started out very more like progressive rock more than anything, and we just been more and more going like into this sort of like synthy electronic direction, but we're still retaining the rockness, if that makes sense. So it's like our roots are like really heavy, and like very much rooted in rock, but we're like really going into this synthy direction as well. So I think there's more dance too. Yeah, like, for sure. Like Four on the Floor dance music. It's fun.
I think one of the intentions when we first started Alice is that we really didn't want to get too caught up in labels and getting boxed up in the labels and genres of things, because I think we kind of wanted to approach the creativity from a really open and free place where we felt just free to like express whatever comes out. And I think the spirit of that still exists. Like when we're writing new songs, we generally don't like go into it going like, oh, it should be like this. Like we're just sort of, it just naturally comes out. Like, somebody will come up with something that will just be like, all right, let's just play around with this idea, whether it's a riff or a groove or whatever the case is. So.
October Noir says that you're caustic Caucasian tribal contemporary.
That'll open some doors.
That's interesting. Yes, mostly Caucasian, because some of us have a little bit of tribal.
What did you see my tattoos? What are you saying? I'm tribal, part of some tribe. Well, this is my tribe. This is my family. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Contemporary. We make this shit now. It's fresh off the press. Contemporary.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better.
So what inspired all of your stage makeup?
So yeah, absolutely. And we come from the theater. Like a lot of us come from theatrical backgrounds, and we've always loved that aspect of performance in all its different forms. So I think that's something that just came naturally, is having like very dramatic theatrical makeup. And I love that we're in a place right now where each person has been finding like their way of expressing that. And yeah, tribalism is definitely part of it. It's sort of like, what is your identity within this particular family? So yeah. And I think we've always kind of been attuned to Red and Black in particular. So that's something that really speaks to us.
All right. If you could collaborate with any other artist, like, you know, your absolute dream, who would you want to do something with?
I mean, besides October Noir.
We need to make that happen.
Yes. There, we're talking. Hazel, you should go first.
Oh my gosh, I don't have an answer for that. I just don't have an answer for that. I have no idea. I mean, I'd love to have the budget of like a Super Bowl intermission, halftime. Sorry. You know, the thing in the middle of the show game thing.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing big acts like that, if you know. But I, as far as who it is, like musically, I mean, I like so many different types of artists. It's almost impossible for me to choose.
Okay.
Cop out.
I would actually say maybe Trent Reznor is a dream artist to work with. He's a huge influence. Really love not only his work in Nine Inch Nails, but all of his soundtrack work. I just think he's a phenomenal producer and sound designer. Maynard, I mean, I'm a huge fan of his voice. Same with Bjork. I know that me and Hazel both share a love for Bjork.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And Florence and the Machine as well. Like I really love her work. Just to name a few. Massive Attack. That would be incredible to get to work with them, or Delirium.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else got anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Massive Attack for sure. That's a big one. But yeah, Gordon and Steve, you guys got anything?
Well, I was just gonna say, since you mentioned Florence and the Machine, we have our Taylor Swift connection right there. So I really want to do a collab with Taylor because Florence was on the newest record. So yeah.
Oh.
You loved that. You loved that album.
I was asked, challenged to listen to it in its entirety. I failed.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
I didn't finish it. No, I tried to listen to it in one sitting, and my brain melted. So I lost, as per prophecy by the friend who wanted me to submit myself to that album. But actually, I learned a lot, and Florence's track was really cool. So that's a good collab. Anyway,
Maybe Birthday Massacre. I feel like there's a lot
cool.
Yeah.
October Noir says, who the hell's even talking? Is this Tom? Shoving his head into his bongo.
It's probably Tom.
Over in the comments, we have an actual question. Who are some of your biggest influences? Ronnie wants to know.
As a band, or personally, I guess I'll go really quick. You know, everything from Nine Inch Nails to Nirvana to Pink Floyd, I feel like really influenced me. Smashing Pumpkins, like in terms of their guitar tones, like really did it for me. You know, and just like there's so much music, but those are the few off the top of my head.
I think there's a sort of an EDM vibe in some of the stuff we do too. Kind of like a Cascade, kind of a trance vibe. Cascade or Dead Mouse, kind of a thing too.
it's true. When we were in Albuquerque, there was this a DJ collective that was happening upstairs of the club where we were playing, and yet dance music is really starting to it's really, you know, it's like you want to take some lessons on the table because it's starting to get there, but start.
Yeah, I think we're definitely influenced by, well, world music in general, like things that have like a deep groove to it. Like we really love playing around with like different percussion from different parts of the world. Carl actually plays a boron, and Steve, you know, plays bongos. I think some influences that Scott mentioned, to add to that, like Pink Floyd and Tool. I feel like I also come from the classical world. And I think that I'm definitely, that's something that is really deeply rooted with me, is like classical composers. And that's kind of what informs a lot of like when I think of like harmonies and melody and things like that. Like I think that really comes out in the writing. So
for sure.
All right. Anyone else got anything on that? No?
Really well as a classical with a classical background as well. In singing, Maria Callas, I think is my favorite classical. I know it almost sounds cliche, but just the raw authenticity in her performance, and that it wasn't always polished, and she wasn't always the most beautiful sounding, but she was the most powerfully authentic classical performer and vocalist. I think I've always been really inspired by her work, and Bjork and Ani DeFranco. I'm just gonna put that out there for storytelling.
All right. Over in the comments, Maya says, "When did you start classical training?"
Which one of us?
I know. You should go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I started singing opera when I was 16. And I continued that into my degrees. So through my 20s into master's degree in opera performance.
Okay, that's cool.
And see, Tosh has us beat as far as the earliest start, so she should go last. I started at 6, classical piano, and then did that classical guitar through high school, and then classical bass in North Texas, University of North Texas. And then I like to say I got my master's and my doctorate at STU, which is a particular hotel background gig in LA, just doing the college of gigs and many hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, my parents heard me singing in tune when I was a baby. And so I started on piano lessons when I was 2 years old. And then at the time as well, like I sang in a lot of choirs. And I actually first met Hazel when we did an opera together. I did my first opera with her, which was Magic Flute. And that's something that I love getting to dip my foot in, when I have the time. But yeah, it's I think that's something that I like to continue in studies. So whenever we have bandwidth, I'm like, okay, who can I study and not just necessarily with a teacher, but just like what song can I study or what composer can I study? So yeah, in terms of classical. And Steve has a classical background as well. Gonna put you on
I
the
grew up
spot
playing
there, Steve.
piano. My mom was a piano teacher, so I played classical piano for many years into high school, and then shift my focus to drums, which was always my first love. But yeah.
Nice. I'm loving all these questions people are throwing up in the comments. Keep them coming. Ronnie also says, question for Gordon. When did you first become inspired to play the bass?
First inspired. I tried to run away from the bass. I was trying to play classical guitar, and I wanted to play guitar, and the band teacher was like, he'll be a great bass player, get him on bass. And everybody's like, play bass. I was like, no. And then they finally left me alone, and I was like, the bass is interesting. But I was just thinking about what's interesting is I got re-inspired. I was thinking about the moment in high school. It was like junior year. I just sort of like stopped. I don't know why I stopped, but I thought about this moment where I was like, you know what? I'm not playing bass. I used to really be into bass. What happened? And I had that moment, and I was like, I should get back into it. So I got the bass player magazines I had at the time and the albums I was listening to, and I kind of like reinvested myself in bass and relit the fire. And I just think it's so weird that I had that moment where I almost sort of might have lost the momentum or something. And then I haven't looked back since. So, in a lifelong career of I can't get away from it now. It's just, I was thinking about that moment in high school, junior year, where I was re-inspired to the bass, a much bigger moment.
And October Noir says bass players are boring.
Nice.
Love you guys.
So I saw you guys have your own hot sauce.
Oh yeah.
How did that come about?
Me too. So it's really cool because actually Stephen Baker is on our stream and on Facebook, and he is an incredible chef, and one of our Mad Hatters. And he knew that we all love the spice. So he actually it was really cool. He was mentioning that one of his love languages is making food for people, and so he sent us like hot sauce that was absolutely incredible. Like he made it with blackberries. Which wow, how creative is that? And so we were like, and he named it Bottled Truth, which is one of our songs. And so we asked him, like, is there any way you'd be willing to share this with the rest of the community? And so hence the Ellis Bottled Truth hot sauce was born.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it is freaking delicious.
It's really good.
When we've sold like I think over 3 batches too. Like people really love the hot
Nice.
sauce. So yeah, I mean like every few months we're like, hey Steven, we gotta freaking another order, and it's awesome. And it's a great collaboration, and it's like he gets to make hot sauce, and he's doing what he loves, and we get to serve it up to all of our fans, and it's just like such a cool collaboration. I never imagined like we could do a collaboration like that, but it works. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
I think that's the spirit of Alice in general, is that we're a really collaborative, creative community of people. We also have a tea line that was started by our friend Justin Bastian. He has his own tea company that he grows. He actually grows the leaves and everything with his family. And I love that we get to share that kind of collaboration with other artists, other dancers, other culinary artists. So I think that's part of what is really special about our community that I'm really grateful for.
Absolutely. So if each of you were an animal, which kind would you pick and why?
Flying monkey.
A flying monkey?
All right.
Yeah, that's my spirit animal for sure.
Oh my god, I
Okay.
can see that. Yeah, everywhere.
Bananas and such.
Bananas.
I was thinking about this lately, and I feel like I've come into a new era in terms of like the animal that I identify with the most, and that is a turtle.
I love turtles.
Because like a turtle is very stoic. They move slowly, but they get shit done. I like turtles. I don't know.
He's a turtle with a jetpack.
Yeah. on roller skates. Gosh, I feel like the obvious answer for me is birds, but I'm going to tell you why, and it's weird. So birds, I have a bird, and they're not majestic. I just want to let you know that. They are annoying. They are quirky, and they are not what you think they are. But I feel like heaven is having a bunch of birds on me. I just want to be in a bird pile with all the feathers and all the fluff. And I feel like that means maybe in my past life, I was in a bird pile and maybe I was a little bird, because I literally can feel the birds and I just want them everywhere. So maybe a bird.
I definitely see you as part of a flock.
Yeah, gotta be a
Yeah.
flock. Gotta be the
Yeah.
fluffy flock.
And you have the beautiful voice too, so that goes along with the bird. The bird, yes.
So it tracks. It's tracking.
I feel like everyone knows what my spirit animal is. I mean, that knows me.
Yeah.
It's the panda. Yeah. I have a panda. Actually have multiple panda onesies. I'm just gonna own that right now. I own more than one panda suit and panda hat and panda shirt, and I have many panda stuffies. So Yeah.
I understand. I'm not a panda, but I identify with red pandas, so I understand.
Oh, red pandas are so cute. I love them.
I have a onesie and t-shirts and stuffed animals. I understand.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
That's awesome. I keep telling people, I'm like, one of these days I think we need to have an actual in-person onesie show. Like, we've done that as a live stream, but I'm just saying, if you have a red panda onesie and I have a panda suit, you know, this is a beginning.
My friend Justice over in the comments says, I identify as Marshmallow Peep.
Relatable.
Yes.
Relatable.
That's funny.
Sweet and
If
squishy.
you're a marshmallow peep, I'm a circus peanut.
I think it's Steve's turn.
Something nocturnal lately, at least.
Something
Maybe a
Owl?
possum.
A possum.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. October Noir says, I identify as a bamboo tree, Tosh.
Oh, you better watch out then.
Yeah, you're getting torn down. You're getting eaten up.
Yeah. Vicious. Vicious.
but you know, structured correctly, hold up, you know, an entire civilization.
Yes, true.
Yeah, bamboo.
Bamboo.
We have a question over on Instagram. Do you have any touring advice for a touring noob?
Start small. Start small, and remember your why. So I love this question. Scott actually wrote an app called Tour Router, and we actually have an ongoing like blog and YouTube channel called Unwritten Rules of the Road. And one of the things I like to advise people is know your why, because I think touring is not for the faint of heart. It's awesome. There's so many beautiful parts to it, but it's also challenging. I mean, there's a lot of challenging parts as well. So if you truly love it, because I think that's for us, foundationally, we really, really love it. There's so much about the live music community getting to play music together that we love. So if you feel really passionate about getting to share your music live, that's an amazing why, whatever the why is, right? But I'd say start small, like start regionally, figure out your tour vehicle, whether if you're a smaller artist, like 1 or 2 piece, or if you're larger, if you need like a van, that sort of thing. But start like on weekend shows, and no matter where you are, there's probably a close by state that you can do like a weekend show. That's how we started. We were in LA, and so we used to do a lot of shows in Arizona. So Arizona's like a second home for us. So we'd do a lot of like little weekend shows to Arizona or Nevada, and then build your way from there. And also, honestly, like go to live shows, go and support other artists, go and meet other people that are touring, because getting to share shows and help each other out is really a big foundation as well, is supporting other musicians and other artists. So yeah, I hope that helps. And go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
I was just gonna say the same thing. It's like going out to shows. I feel like even local shows, meeting bands, talking to the promoters, talking to the sound engineers, talking to the door person. Like, talk to people, just get to know them. They'll get to know you. Mm-hmm. So when it comes time for you to play there, they'll know you.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if you have more questions, like definitely feel free to, hit us up. We're always really happy to help other artists. It's one of those things that I'm really passionate about. I do all the booking for Alice. And so I always love helping other people because, I feel like I've been helped myself, and it's sort of my way of paying it forward. So.
Someone's asking when your next show in Arizona is.
Working on that. I'm trying so hard to get our first date in October. It will be a Monday, which I know is sometimes not ideal for people, but it is going to be our first date out on the road. And so fingers and toesies crossed. If anyone has suggestions for, Arizona on a Monday night. We are open to it, but I am currently working on that, so I'll keep you posted.
And Chester says, I need Texas to be your second home.
Well, Texas is the motherland for me and Carl, so.
Now I'm an honorary Texan because I went to North Texas State, and maybe one day I'll
He's
finish.
adopted. Yes.
I'm just going to take a quick minute here to remind everyone, tomorrow night I have Malice Machine at 4 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you check that one out.
I like that name, Malice Machine.
I know, right?
Nice.
It's a cool band name.
We could play together, Malice and Dallas.
Oh my god.
Is anyone else in the comments have any more questions? Cat. Okay. If anyone in the comments has anything else, spit it out there. Ronnie says, do you have any other hatters tell you that their pets have a special connection with your music?
Actually, yeah. I used to have a cat. I'm actually sadly very allergic to them, but I used to have cats. And one of them would let me know if he liked what I was writing or not, because he would either stay on the piano with me or he would run away. So my cat was kind of my producer / director, where he let me know if something was okay.
That's great.
I'm so sorry. I gotta split, everybody. I'm gonna split out. I will see you later.
All right.
Thank you so much
you
for
later,
having me. I gotta
Thanks for
dive back behind this tree here.
Oh, yeah.
Hide,
In Madonna's closet.
hide behind the tree.
October Noir says, you guys look so tired during tour. Now you look well rested, which is odd because Scott looks like Bono after a tour recoup.
I don't know. I feel I don't know what to say.
Damn it, Tom.
Damn it, Tom.
Damn it, Tom. That's
there we go. There we go, Tyler. Tyler says Malice and Dallas with Alice.
Oh,
All right.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
Let's book the show now. Like that's
Yeah.
has to be the show.
Yeah.
alliteration is the
Mhm.
deciding factor.
Yes.
Oh, Tyler says Tom is a bitch.
Damn it, Tom.
We love you too, Tom. All right. What socials can people find you on?
Yeah, so we got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We have a Discord server, so seek us out
What?
if you're there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll throw the link up in the chat right now.
Okay.
But yeah, we're up on everything. Geez, I don't know. We don't have a MySpace page, but we got other things.
I think the trick is to make sure that you look for AL1CE. That
Yeah.
sometimes people can get confused, but
Let me
yeah,
grab the
you can
Discord
find
link
us.
here.
Yeah, and we are actually about to. Well, I'll let you share that, Scott, but or not.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm actually building an Alice phone app. So that's going to be pretty fun. That I'm hoping it'll be out in a week or two at most. But yeah, so that's pretty fun.
Okay, so what would that be? Like, what would you do with it?
So we're starting pretty simple. So like, just basically a one-stop place for everything Alice on your phone. Plus push notifications for those that allow it. So we'll be able to tell you about our upcoming shows and news and that sort of thing. We promise not to harass you. But yeah, it'll be a place, where it's just easy to find all the information that you need on Alice, but in a phone app. We're eventually planning maybe an Alice choose your own adventure game.
Yes,
which would be fun.
That'd be so cool.
That would be very.
Yeah, we have a lot of gamers in our community, which is awesome. And so, for those of us who have a gamer heart, I think we're wanting to play. So I think that's kind of the intention. So, yes.
There you go. And then
Yeah.
maybe you could appeal to us also and do write your own D&D campaign or something.
Exactly.
I'd be
Yeah.
totally into that.
Yeah, totally.
One of our
Yeah.
fans created D&D role playing characters for us, for each and every band
Really?
member. Yes, and it's amazing. I got to dig that up, but that's on our Discord. So yeah, it's incredible, like everything.
All right, and last thing I've got is what do you want to say to your fans who are watching this?
Oh, we
Thank
love
you.
y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much for your incredible love and support. We're taken such good care of by everyone. Just the fact that people take the time to spend time with us, or to comment, or to message us, or come out to shows, in all the different ways that people have shown support. People have fed us on tour or housed us, and every single ounce of love and support is absolutely appreciated. So we're super grateful, and I'm grateful to you as well, Eric, for taking the time to chat with us and to get to know us more. It's very kind of you to have us here on your show.
No, I really wanted to. I followed you for a while, and I absolutely loved your set at Dark Force. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta get these guys on.
Yeah, that's awesome. We loved being part of the community. It was such an honor to be asked to be part of it. So yeah.
For sure. All right.
But
Well,
yes.
thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for hanging
Thank you.
out.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. You're yeah. I can't talk. Distracted by
Damn it,
cat.
Tom.
Distracted by cat. Y'all are welcome to hang out after the credits roll, but if not, yeah, thanks for coming on, and I hope y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Eric.
so much
Thanks.
for having us, Eric.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.